Photo alone and video.
Really? Ah. Oh.
And we are better by recording. Yeah, 'cause oh yeah, I think it's showing. We should change now.
Okay, I'll check it. I'll check it now. Let me check it. Oh,
Yeah, I think it has changed now.
yeah, yeah. It's showing your screen now.
Yeah, okay. Um,
I think.
no, it's not showing the full screen.
Yeah, it's showing your screen now. So.
Is it showing the full screen?
No, not the full screen. Let me go back to it. Not the full screen. It's not showing the full
It's
screen.
not showing. Okay.
It's not showing the full screen.
The full screen. Okay. Yeah, showing the full screen.
Okay, I'll check.
Yeah. I'm looking at it on my phone. On
Okay.
YouTube. Okay, so where did we? It was your assignment, right?
Yes, assignments.
So where can we find them to start with?
Mine is on the query. Yeah. Yeah. We've got lots of it. Sister Sophie, my Sister Sophie. I've
Okay.
not seen Kemi's own day.
No. Yeah, looks like we are getting ready for business.
Okay.
Okay, so where did we start? Let me add dates.
I went from query. No, not query.
How come it's showing you again? So,
Really?
yeah,
Uh,
what have we done?
this thing should show screen now.
Okay, it's showing screen again. Maybe it's me whenever I click on something. I don't know.
Okay.
We should know. We can just fix it to show this.
Screen, yeah.
And I'd actually hide some from broadcast. Let's see if that one is working. It's not working yet. Yeah, maybe it is now. No, it's not working. It's still showing you. Okay, okay, it's back now. So, create updates. Okay, so did you update existing ones? It doesn't look like we have. Oh no, probably. Let me see. I'm sure. Yeah, I think it's everything nine. I think you're still using the American date. Where? I said I was gonna change that. I forgot. Okay, so I think it'll probably be around here. I don't know. Which one is the recent one that you remember that I did? Um, is this a recent one? Um, I can check the next one. Checking your balance. 48. Okay, so
Ah,
go to Nando's website. If I
my
lodge,
shot.
click the Nando's card icon. Come up with a login page. Enter your details into the login page. Page aside receive. Click on reward details. Reward on the card. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's check the next one.
Uh,
To load. Okay. Yeah. So this looks like you are testing for two things. Uh, or maybe it just looks like it. So register for the card. So after this step three, is that not registration completed? Yeah. Okay. I think that makes sense. So yeah. So it doesn't look like a full action. Like this one, you can see like the so you go somewhere. This one you click somewhere. This one you submit the form. This one, what do you do? Because I know you submit the form, but what exactly are you doing? Yeah, so maybe it will be something like click on your chili wheel or you know an action, then it will show you.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How are
We
you?
thank God. Good evening. I'm
How
fine,
about you?
thanks. Body day, Jesus day. Thank you. Good
Yeah. So
evening.
yeah. Good evening. Um, so let's ignore the typo on this one. Go to Nando's website to load. Go through the food menu list. Place your order.
Give my cash on.
So how did you get? What happened there? Okay. Yeah. So for example, so there are some things that doesn't look like expected results, like place your order. How is that an expected result? I think one of the other things you probably do is each person will take each person's test case and they will identify the problems that they had, as in they will actually execute it. So, for example, now let's go to Nando's website. So it says we should go through the food list menu. So the expected action is, so the action there is food menu is displayed when you go through the food. So it's either you say you go to the food menu list, the food menu list is displayed. So that's action and expectation. Place your order is added to basket. So it's action and expected result. So place your order here is an action. Mm. So placing an order is an action, is not an expectation. So if you want to say, oh, what do you expect? Well, I expected the website to load. That makes sense. If you say I expected to place my order, that's like you're expecting an action. But this one is right. So you shouldn't get any chili on your reward card. Yeah. So that second one is yeah, the one that needs some work on it. Yeah. I don't know, maybe it applies to this as well. Yeah. Yeah. So 52 is for Sister Sophie. Yeah. So go to Nando's website opens. Yeah. Click on the reward menu bar. Menu bar with option opens. Mm, I can't say reward menu bar.
Yeah, click on Nando's. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So that needs an extra step if you're actually using the website. But reading it like this, it still makes sense as in an action and an expectation. So click on the drop down bar to show you which chili you can get. Expected to earn chili. Expected to earn green reward with 3 chilies. Hmm. Sister Sophie, how I don't understand this step 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Remember what we're looking at is Green Reward option.
Yeah.
So by step 3, I'm checking on what to get on a green reward. So when the drop down menu shows which chili I can get with my green reward, so expected to earn three, expected to earn green reward with 3 chilies. Probably the grammar is from left to right, but as I'm looking for green reward, what I can get with green reward. when I click on it and check on it, I have to get three chilies for a green reward.
Okay, so what exactly are you testing here?
I'm testing what I can get. In what points I can get with green reward and what I can get, because at the end of it, as you can see, I said I can get a quarter chicken or a starter if I have a green reward.
Okay, so you want to check what green reward can get you from Nando's.
Can get me, yeah, yeah. I want to go back to the question says what we can get with Nando's reward card. So that's how I'm playing it in my head.
Yeah, I think I have an idea for you saying that. So you're saying you have a card, right? And that card already has three chili on it, and you want to
Yeah,
see if
that's
you can
another,
get
yeah.
is three chili the same thing
What
as a
my
green
three
reward?
chili? Yeah,
Yeah. So you want
and
to
as some,
see,
yeah, what my three chilies can get me, or what is green reward gonna get me? Green reward will get me three chilies. What
yeah.
makes up three reward? Obviously, I don't know how it works generally, but I guess when you come, three chilies makes that up, and don't know how much you. Yeah, yeah, combination. Yeah, combination of green and tar gives you six chilies. So I'm looking for what I can get with my three green rewards. Ooh,
So the question now is, so are you just checking the website like I'm doing now, or you are actually using a proper card to do the
pardon?
diagnosis?
Say that again.
So my question is, are you actually checking on a card, or you're just checking the website? So from here now,
I think I'm doing both. I wanted to find out what what reward I can get with the green card. So
yeah. So
assuming
my
I'm
question
a
is, are you
customer,
just
yeah.
going to the website to read what is there?
Yeah, it was a combination of that, yes, because physically I don't have a membership card. So
Yeah.
I
So
want to
this this
find out.
this test this test case doesn't tell us if you are just checking or if you are using a membership card. So for example now,
Okay, I don't know.
so this action here I think is slightly complex.
Complex, okay.
Yeah, because you are telling us the reason why you are clicking. We don't really need
Mm,
that. So it's just action and expectation. Click on the drop down menu bar. You know, that's the action to show
okay,
you what chili you can get. You don't really need that to be there.
okay.
And when you click on the menu bar, you don't need to have expected here. All you need to just tell us is what should happen. So this, I don't
And
really understand this now, because how do you earn?
yeah,
You can only earn something if you've logged in, if you are a user. But if you are just reading it, you are not earning it. I don't know. So it's kind of
mm.
confusing. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I do. So the word expected shouldn't be there. So it will be if I click on the menu bar, so the next bit should be I'll earn the reward. So what is the right grammar or sentence to go
No,
there?
so it's not just even the grammar. So I think you are trying to test more than one thing based on what you've said. Because it's either you are just going to the website and you want to make sure the information is there that three chili reward can get you a quarter chicken, or
Mm-hmm.
you want to check that if you have three chili on your card, you can get a quarter chicken.
Mm. Yeah.
So I'm not sure which one it
Oh,
is. Are you checking on a card or are you reading on the website?
like I said before, I was doing both.
Yeah, so it should just be one. Let's move to the
I was
next one.
doing both.
Yeah. It should always just be one thing.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, I think this is better. So click on red reward. It shows you what options it will give you. Click on 10 chilies red reward. So my question here is that if this step number 3 doesn't show you, can you still do step number 4?
If
So
num step
this
number
one looks like you are breaking down step 3 slightly further. The red reward is the 10 chili reward, right?
10 chilies, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if in test 3 you are saying it should show you what reward options will give you,
Mm.
then you are still doing the same
Okay.
thing here in step 4, but you are just listing it out.
And so making it a bit more
So it's either
connected
you
to the
have one or
definition.
it's either you have one or you don't need. So they are kind of like two duplicates of the same thing, because what red reward options will give you is still the same thing as this.
Yeah, okay. It's like multiplying the job.
Yeah, so you'll be fine without this step 4 or without this step 3,
Yeah,
or even take
okay.
or even take step 4 and have one chicken and another test case with combo fries, because if you get whole chicken and not combo fries, your test might fail,
Right.
depending
So
on
you have
what
to
the
say,
case is
yeah,
like.
okay.
So you want to make sure with a red reward you can get chicken. Another test case will say with a red reward you can get a combo of meals with fries.
Mm.
So that if the chicken one passes, you can say, okay, the combo one is failing.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, it comes
So
with
the
practice. So
order.
once you do a few of this more, yeah. So
This will be a bit more complicated then.
yeah, this is more complicated because this is like the
Mm,
other one that is not sure if you are
yeah.
reading or if you are actually checking on the card.
Mm. So then going back to the question then,
Yeah.
are we checking what we can possibly get with the reward card?
Well,
Or
it's all up to you, how you want to do the testing. So you might just want to test like with an orange. So for example, now all your test case might just focus on that. If you have 6 chili on your card, then you can get a
Mhm,
chicken. So for example, it will mean okay, logging into Nando's. So
mm,
part of the background of information that you might have in the summary might say you have a Nando's card that already has 6 chilies in it. You might have that as a background, that
mhm,
you need to do as part of your setting up your test. So when you now go to nandos.com, you log in and you see that account has 6 chili. You try to buy a quarter chicken and you can buy it successfully. But if you have 3 chilies and you try to buy half chicken, it tells you no. You three chili cannot get half a chicken. It can get quarter chicken. Does that make sense?
mm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I think you're still overcomplicating the cases. You need them to be more simpler.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So so for example, this step one, this is an expected result.
Mm-hmm.
Step two, page opens is an expected result. You clicking is not an expected result.
It's
That's
an
another
action.
action, and that shouldn't be here. Register your card. That is an action. It's not an expected result.
Okay.
Register the barcode is not an expected result. It's an action.
Action.
Following instructions is not an expected result. It's an action. And you shouldn't even have
Mm,
follow instructions because everything you are doing here is a set of steps anyway.
mm. Well, if their own instruction on how to register it.
Yeah. But so yeah,
That's what
so
I was
this shouldn't
thinking
be,
about.
yeah, so these are all the step 3 to 5. This ones need to change. Is this the same one?
Pardon?
No,
I
I'm
think
right.
the first
Okay,
one.
it's another one. Yeah, yeah. So scrolling down
Nando
here
reward action.
is another
Yeah,
is not an expected result.
is an action.
Is an action. So click on learn more. What you expect to
Mhm.
see after you click on learn more is what should be here.
Yeah, yeah. When you click on learn more, then you go down to find what you're looking for. If you go to that
Yeah, but
website.
when you click on learn more, something happens.
Okay, it opens. Okay,
Yeah, so that's what
the
it should be
page
there. Yeah.
opens. Okay.
Even if you don't have an expected result, it's better than having another action in that column
That
because it will
color.
be more confusing.
Yeah.
And this test case as well, this is a question. It's not better for a title,
Yeah, it's a
right?
question.
Because it's yeah, it shouldn't be a question. It should tell you what you are trying to do. Because what reward do I get? How do I know? Yeah. So you should say like, okay, I should get a chicken when I spend £7 or more. I should get street chili when I get £1 or more. So that's a test case. I already know what you are testing for. I can have an idea of your expectation even from that test title. Um, yeah, so
This.
scrolling down here is also an action.
Yeah.
This is also not an expected result because it's a conditional statement in Nando's reward card. Yeah, click on learn more. A new page with steps on a new page opens with steps on what to do. That's fine. Click on step 4. What is step 4? Is step 4
Sorry,
on
it's
Nando's
step four
page?
of the steps. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, step four tells you.
So let me try that out.
Find you out. Yeah. It's actually there.
So this is nando's.co.uk. Page opens. Click on learn more. Because you didn't even say scroll down.
Which I've been saying on the other ones.
Yeah, so I don't know where learn more is here.
um,
No.
no, probably on after on the wall. It wouldn't be there.
Where is
How
how
it
it
works,
works?
yeah. Go back on that card. Yeah, calm down a bit. Yeah, calm down. Yeah, you've seen it. You've gone past it. Go up a bit. Yeah, number 4, step 4. There.
So where is learn more?
Go up a bit, little by little. Or you go click backwards and then it takes you back to this page. Let's see.
So yeah, but already I can say like that steps is not true. Yeah, because we've spent nearly a minute there and we've been going up and down. So it should be straight to the point. You know, click
Yeah,
on the
probably
menu, click
you
on
could
Nando's
tell
card,
yourself what to do.
click on this, click on this, click on this.
Yeah, I
It
shouldn't.
should.
I know it's somewhere, but I misplaced it. So it will be click on the page with steps opened.
Yeah, you should always have in mind,
Step
like you should
4.
be able to give it to
Mm,
a 6-year-old and he'll follow it and he'll get the same
yeah,
result. That
yeah.
should be your aim. That you should give it to a
Your
six
aim,
year old and he'll follow it and he'll
and
get the
then
same
follow
result.
instruction. Yeah.
But now, as old as I am, I can't do it. So, like, what to do if I lost my reward card as well? So that's another
Is a
question.
question.
It's not good enough for a title.
So so it shouldn't come with a question.
No.
So probably like replacing my lost reward card is much better.
Well, that doesn't even tell us
Or
what you're
getting a
doing.
new uh-huh.
No, that doesn't tell
So
us. With that, I still don't know what you are testing.
hmm.
Abby, do you know what she's testing with this? What to do if I lost my reward card?
Yeah, we learn common English, we understand, but in a testing world, it
No, even in common English, I
doesn't
don't know what
follow.
you are testing. Call
What
999
do you do when you lose
or
your card? So it's a common man
yeah,
thing,
but
but
you are
in a
not going to
testing
test.
world,
You won't test that. You are
yeah,
testing a website.
yeah, sure, testing it.
So if you want to check if the information for lost card is on the site, then that's something else.
Right,
You know,
right,
you
yeah.
can say your test case might now be lost reward card information or
Ah,
checking for lost reward card information. So it will tell us you have an idea of what you are doing. So that okay, you are checking a part of the website to see if information for lost reward card is there. You know, as much as close as you can get to that as possible without filling the whole place completely up. So your first case might be checking the website to see if the reward card lost card information is there. That should be the whole message. So you can now decide to frame it however you like. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Mm. So also the same applies to
Another question.
yeah, what to do when I've
What to do?
forgotten my Nando's reward card. Yeah. Yeah, because even with this, I'm not sure what you are testing on the page.
Yeah, that one. What did I remember?
So is this
I
if you
think it's the
didn't bring?
number.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
if I
I
don't
think I
bring
know what
my
you mean
thingy.
now. Yeah. So
Yeah,
what
if
you
I
are
don't bring
testing, so
it,
you're slightly going outside the website here. You are going
the
outside the
scope.
application because what you are testing here, you are testing the what did they call it? The till in Nando's.
Mm-hmm.
If you are buying at the till, not on the website now, you're
Yeah.
buying at the till and you
Mm,
don't have your
mm,
card, you show
mm,
them the code or the account number
mm, mm,
and they will
mm.
use it, register it against your account. But
Yeah.
you can do that on the website, but it doesn't really, the website will always have your reward card number anyway. It doesn't need your physical card. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I guess is when I was trying to make up 10 things to test actually. But like now you've explained it. Like you said, they will we probably with your name and maybe postcode, they should be able to track your details and put it there for you.
No. What
So,
what exactly did you just say?
oh, okay, okay.
No, I didn't understand.
Um, I'm still thinking through what I've just said because for the fact that we're testing the website,
Yeah.
it is looking as if I'm going there physically to buy, which is not what we're testing.
Yeah.
We're testing website, not yeah,
So this looks like the till because you
yes,
use your
going to the
reward
till.
card physically at the till in the shop.
Yeah,
I don't know if you said you don't go to Nando's that often. I have a Nando's card, right? A lot of
yeah.
times if I go there, I might not go with my card, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll show them on my phone, this is my Nando's card number. So rather than swiping my
Yeah,
card, they enter the number,
yeah. Right.
right? But when you are ordering online, you log in, you add the chicken to your cart, you want to check out, you don't need to add your number. The system already has your number. You already have your number.
Automatically does
Yeah.
it.
So you don't need, so the only thing that I might just tell you is like, okay, because you bought something more than £7, you are getting 3 chili. And after you've bought it, you might now have
Mm-hmm.
that chili. So forgetting your Nando's card doesn't really apply on the website. But if you are now testing if the information is on the website, that's a different thing. So you are just checking for the text that, okay, in the frequently asked questions section, question number 4 is what do I do when I lost my reward card? And the message there be, if you have lost
Mm.
your reward card, don't panic. Just go to the till and tell them your number. You should be fine. If that
Yeah.
text is there, then that test is passing. That's another test case on its own.
Okay. Does okay.
Do you understand what I said?
A bit. Like you said, what to do if you've lost your card. From the frequently asked question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. The frequently to asked question passes the test of going online to seek information.
Yeah. See, okay, let me
Uh,
let me just tell you
okay. I
something,
see what
right?
you mean.
So there you can write a test case to show that this 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 food is there. All right.
Mm.
Can you see this food that I highlighted on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have a test case to check that that food is there. That's a valid test case, right? You might not necessarily, that's a valid test case. If it's useful, that's another thing, right? So if you're writing a test case for each text, you might not necessarily do that. You might have a test case with a list of text to say, okay, menu is there, tick, product is there, but we'll talk about that in the test data. But that is still a valid test, because you are checking the website to make sure something is there,
Mm.
right? That's the test on its own. So what I was saying about lost card. So for
Mm.
example, maybe how it works, or the information might be somewhere that if you lost your
Yeah.
card, this is what happens. So if you are checking for that information, that is still a valid check, right? That's still a valid
So
test.
it's more of a check than okay.
So it's still valid. But
Mm.
so what I was saying there is now that where is it again? Is it the one? Yeah. So now, but when you are now logging in and you are adding receipts to your account to claim your Chili reward,
Mm.
in a way that might still even be valid. But the way that this will be valid, so not the title now, I'm talking about the steps. So let's say
Mm.
you went to Nando's, you bought something, you didn't tell them you have your card, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
came home with your reward and you now remembered, oh, actually, I should have claimed some chili for this. You now log in, you now add the receipt to, you now put the receipt somewhere on the website to claim your chili reward. That can be a valid test, right? But the title will just
Mm-hmm.
be different. I don't think Nando's has that feature, you know. But if you are testing that feature, now that is valid. The only thing that you need to mention is that, oh, you bought something. So you need the description of the background,
Mm.
because for every case, sometimes you might need the background just to tell them. So you see it as a court case, like, oh, this boy is 15 years old. He was found stealing a bicycle. He slapped someone. He did this. But now we want to check that should he go to prison for this or should he do this or this. So background information will just be something that needs to be in place so that the test case will be more understandable and more
Mm.
solid. So for example, the background for this will be that the user has already bought something. They did not use the receipt. I mean, they did not use their card in store, but now they want to log in online and claim chili reward using the receipt that they bought from the store. So this title
Mm.
will just reflect, that scenario that you chili claim for previously bought um, food or whatever,
Last
or
purchase,
retrospective,
last order.
yeah, or some retrospective buying. You shall award it differently. That will just show that, okay, whatever you are doing is that you are testing for something that you bought but you didn't claim for. So what number is this? 60. Let's go to 67. Yeah, so even this one is not a valid text title as well. All right. Because this is like
Title is not valid.
an instruction.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like an instruction. Even search for nearest branch is okay. I can tell what you are doing.
Mm.
But to get a reward on your order, I think that's slightly more complicated because
Yeah.
I don't think your order has anything to do with your location.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
physically go in there for the card.
Yeah, but like we said, you're testing the website, so because
Yeah.
that's
Any.
like,
Yeah.
yes, if you're testing the website for a branch, all you need to do is put in your postcode and you get a postcode of the closest Nando's to you.
Yeah.
End of. It has
End
nothing
of
to do with maybe you are getting
reward
reward or
card.
no reward. Yeah, it doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with that.
Don't complicate
Yeah,
things.
so I think
So
your
yeah.
cases are very complicated. So checking your
Giving myself
balance.
more work.
Yeah, you've done too much. Maybe this is why you are saying like it will take you time.
No more 10. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
checking your
gosh.
balance from your Lost Nando's reward card.
That's not me. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I can see that this is happening. So go to Nando's website, it should load, click on menu, it should show login form, enter username and password. So after you enter username and password, form should load. Okay. Yeah, so that can be yeah. You can even sometimes you might need to leave this blank and it's understandable. Yeah, if you don't really expect any. So for example, enter username and password. You can say password and username entered. That's fine. So click on the chili wheel. So here now I'll assume that you did not submit that form. So as a 6-year-old, once they enter username and password, they're just looking and they can't see any wheel. They can only see submit. And they say, Mommy, I only saw I see submit. I can't see any chili wheel. What happened? So you need to say, okay, click on the submit button. Chili will load, page should load. Click on chili with, then you should be able to see number of reward you can your card.
But you're saying so we can, if there's nothing expected, you can leave it open and then do the next step.
Yeah, you can, but it's better to have
Ah,
something there.
okay.
It's better to have
Yeah.
something there than something that
Yeah.
is confusing. So yeah, so enter username and password. Username and password entered. Click on the submit button. Form submitted and page loads. Click on the chili wheel. You should be able to see a number of reward or maybe even 6 reward or But why is this one a lost reward card then? Why is it a lost reward card?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's
Yeah.
not missing, how do you check if it's not? Yeah. Do you know the answer to that? Yeah. Yeah. So if it's not missing, how do you check? Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So request for replacement of a lost Nando's card. Go to normal. Yeah. Yeah. So rather than functionality here, you can mention what exactly it will show because there's nothing you can really call functionality. So if it's a list, you say it's a list. If it's a drop down, you say it's a drop down. Right? So when you click on the lost card menu, it will show your lost card page. And you log in. Yeah, so I don't think you need step number 5 because you can't really test that. Or can you? Yeah, but is this an action? Is this an action? How is it an action?
So it will be click then. Okay.
Okay, okay. So what will be the expected result? No. No. Yeah, so okay, let's go over this again. So once you've marked your card as lost, so I'm assuming like that's the checkbox, right? So how can this be your expected result when you are
Mm,
testing a software?
okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, because once you've ticked that checkbox, what happens?
The phone will submit, or you get a reply. You've been
Yeah.
accepted.
So it's whatever happens or whatever should happen that will be here. Because if you give this to a 6-year-old now, they will go to step 5, and once they've checked this step 5, they will go to the door and go and check their post and say, "Mommy, there's nothing in the post." Yeah. So this should tell you you should get an information that another one will be sent to you by post. So that's different. So 64. Yeah, I see. Go to Nando's site, it loads. Yeah, it shows enter login ID and password. Click on the chili wheel. Okay. You see the number of chilies you've got. So you did Ojoro here. Yeah, because this is not an action, right? So what exactly are you testing? So what's the background for that? If you have 3 chilies on your card, yeah. So that information is only known to you. It's not here. And even if it is, it shouldn't be an action unless if you actually did the action as part of the steps, which really wouldn't make sense because that would be like you are buying something now, you get the 3 chilies and you're now claiming it. But when you say claim, you mean using it, right? Or you mean showing and or you mean but you want it to reflect on your account. Yeah. So this is not an expected result, is it? Yeah. This is not an expected result. And this is, even though you should try and avoid, I don't know what they call this, U, I. So it will be better if you have like the number of chilies will be displayed. So for this, you might have the background that the card for this user has 3 chilies, right? Or you can have it as part of your, I think it's the way these steps are written. Sometimes you can have it as part of your, so it's easier when you have like acceptance criteria that are linked to test cases. So it will be there that, all of that can be in acceptance criteria, the background. Like given that you are a user, you already have 3 chilies and you want to claim your reward. Yeah. I think some of the other things we'll do at some point is actually link our test cases to acceptance criteria. But at least we should focus more on this. Yeah. Um, okay, so that seems like everything. So how was this one in general? How did you find it? Yeah. Yeah. So the idea is this. So when you are doing testing, right? I don't think we've probably talked about test data. So this might be a good time to just talk about it. We'll probably talk more maybe in the next class. So when you're talking about test data, all right? So your test data kind of sets sets the scene for what you want to test. So if you want, yeah. So if you want to test that, you can claim 3 chilies, or you can, okay, like this one that you're saying, like when you have 3 chilies, you can claim a green reward. So this login ID and password that you are entering now, you have already created an account for a test account, right? That you have control over the number of chilies in the account. You know, the same way we were adding names to our database. So you can add an account, you add the user, you add the password, you add the number of chilies they have in their account, right? And once you've set all of that, you can now go and do the test. And this test case will already have the information about that background, So you will know that the user that you are logging in as already has 3 chilies. So you can have that as part of your summary or description. So so you might say, rather than saying your login ID and password, yeah, you can actually put the login user and the password of that account. So you go into Nando's website, it should load, enter login user as Mr. Jack and password as Jack password. It should log in and show Mr. Jack's account. Click on the chili wheel. It should show 3 chilies.
Yeah.
Then you can claim 3 green reward. Does that make sense? So you can it's like you can set the scene. You can prepare everything just to make sure you can do the test that you need to do. And if you need to check that, if you need to update the number of chilies in the account to 6, you can do that if you want to now do another test. So you might have a different account and do different things. Yeah. So you can always, so your test data will set the scene for the test that you want to perform. Mm.
So as you write it, your test cases, it's advisable to use test data as well.
You can, yeah. It's even best practice if you have
Mm,
the data. The
okay.
only reason why I didn't say you should put data here is because we don't have the data for Nando's anyway. So
Mm.
let me try and look for a link. 1 sec. So, Sister Sophia, how did you find this in general as well?
In general, it wasn't much straightforward. Some of them look as if it is, some of them are not. And again, like you just said, because we're not customers there, most of the things we're testing, like your account, the account number, card and the card numbers, those ones you think, oh, I've gotten to this stage, what else do I do? Kind of thing. So, and then again, because I wasn't too clear on what the testable things I should look for. That's why I see myself looking, what do I say in writing tests on what do I do when I've lost my data card and things like that. So Some at some to some extent I understood and tried, but to some extent I just went off point really.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's mainly just trying to narrow down what you're testing
Yeah,
and not trying to do too
and know
much.
what testables are.
Yeah. Mm, come on.
And for this, even though we are not registered test customers, but like what you've just said, we can still make it up, like
Uh,
in a login names and passwords, and make up the card. Just give a serial number for the cards,
yeah, yeah,
barcode
you
number.
can.
Make those up as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, okay.
Okay,
I'll give you a break off this one. We'll be back.
we'll be back. I'll be back.
So I sent a link out this morning on cross-border testing. Who had a look?
Which link again, sir? I know I think yeah, yeah. I did click on it, although it was showing what was it? Graph of
Yeah,
people's how do I put it? Search thingy. Um Traffic of people
yeah,
using browser, yeah. I had a look. So are you there now?
yeah.
Okay,
It should be on the screen.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've all well, I don't know if you're familiar with cross-browser testing or if we've dabbled into it one way or the other. But it's pretty much just checking or testing your website in different browsers because the fact that something works in one browser doesn't mean it will necessarily work in the other one.
Okay.
Yeah. So an example, so this is like one application that we're working on at the moment. You can still see my screen, right? So it's
Yeah.
one application within Sky that um, is all driven by CMS. And what I mean is like they can upload this logo and everything from the same way we do the church one that you log in
Mm,
somewhere behind at a URL and you can upload things that will show on the front page of the website. It's the
mm,
same kind of idea. As you can see here, there is no logo here yet, right?
yeah.
If I go away from this bigger picture and I go straight here, it will take us back to sky.com technically. And that one has logo and it's more yeah, more different content here, right? So but basically it's like a work in progress and it's I'm just trying to show you like the agile development
Mm,
that you are building in pieces and gradually over time you have your final product. With the next delivery, hopefully we should have a footer that is internationalized. And what I mean by that is that, where's my page again? So what I mean by that is that we will have this, hold on, we will have this bar here at the bottom. Can you see?
okay,
Yeah.
up now.
So it's showing UK and Republic of Ireland. And once you click that, it takes you to another version of the same application, which is for Ireland. As you can see, the flag is now the Irish flag.
No, I can't see it yet.
Yeah, it's here, down at the bottom.
Okay, sorry, where our faces
Yeah.
are. So.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So, and on this page, for example, the prices should be in the Irish currency.
Euro.
Might not show that because I think I logged in recently. And the find and watch, the movies that they recommend will be slightly tuned towards their Irish customers and blah blah blah. But so anyway, the example I wanted to show you is where something might look different from one application to the other. So this, you can see what it looks like in Chrome, right? So I'll show you. I'm not sure if this browser will come up now because told my screen to only show that other one. Is this still showing the same page, or is it showing a blank page?
Sky panel.
Okay, I need to change the screen to another one. Okay, now I'm in Internet Explorer. Can you see? Yeah, so if you see this page now, can you see the space here?
Yeah,
It's not a
white
blank
blank.
page. There's more space at the bottom. Yeah, maybe the
Is
way.
the search bar is quite tiny
Yeah, you
at
know
the
what?
head where the arrow is.
I'll send you the link now. You try it out in Internet Explorer. I'll send it to the general channel on Slack.
So we type it out instead of clicking on
Yeah,
it.
so go to Internet Explorer and look at it yourself. And then check it again in Chrome. Can you see the difference? Okay.
I haven't been able to do it. If you can help me film it. Yeah, I have to.
Can you see the difference in the two? So what's the difference? Yeah, so that sports image is closer to the ocean rescue image compared to in Chrome. So that's like the little bits of cross-browser testing. So testing your application in different browsers. And sometimes you just see that some functionalities are completely just not working in one browser and they're working in another. You can see that maybe your video is playing in Internet Explorer, is playing in Chrome, and it's not playing in Internet Explorer. So you have scenarios like that. So, and what I was showing about the, let me go back now, about this stats is the population of people and what browsers they are using most. So I think RB is probably in this range. You use Internet Explorer primarily, don't you? Yeah, so you are in the 9% here. So, and if you see the top 10 browsers, so you are probably in the number 5, right? Internet Explorer 11. So like most of, so for example now, for applications that we are testing, primarily we test them based on priority. So for example now, I'm not even sure. So I'll be checking my the version of my Chrome now, and we'll see it together. You can see that this is version 60. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It's updating at the moment. Is it still tiny? Yeah. Yeah. So once it's finished updating, it will go to 61 because I'm using 61 at work already. Right. So most people are still on 60. Yeah. But this is as at August. I'm sure by the end of September, the number would have changed slightly. Right. So this is this is, if you look at August, I mean July, you can see that the version number is changing. This is version 59 was 38%. And as at a year ago, so let's go to July 2016, Chrome was still the top, you know, nearly 60%. So it's probably even lost some market share to maybe Safari. Safari was 13% here. And I think Safari has gained a little bit in the last 1 year. So when we are testing our application in browsers, we focus on what people are using primarily. And sometimes you might even, so sometimes if your application is being used just within your organization and is, for example, it was in the news maybe yesterday that most of the police are still using Windows XP, right? And because it's not as secure as Windows 10, so there are some security concerns. But the reason why they are still using XP is because some of the software that they bought many years ago cannot run on the latest Windows 10. So they need to keep their Windows XP. Yeah. But when they are testing, they will need to just make sure they are testing to Windows XP because they don't use Windows 10. But this is just browser based now, right? So when we're talking about browser web based application, we're just talking about websites only. So we'll focus mainly on what people are using because our websites are external facing. People will be using them in the latest browsers. So probably even focus more on these three because these are the main ones. But if you want to expand more, then you probably go up to the first top 5. And covering that, you know that you are covering maybe 60% of the market, or I don't know what you're covering here, maybe up to 70. I don't know. When you add all of this together, probably even up to 7, because going back to the last few versions of Chrome, I think a few people are still on Chrome version 51. Yeah. So you focus what you are testing on different browser versions. And one downside to this is sometimes you might not be able to have multiple versions on your machine because, like right now, like I just showed you, I'm using version 60, right? Once I relaunch, sorry, if you go under your help and you click about Chrome, you can do it. Check it now. and let's know what version you are on. You click those three dot buttons on the left, then help, then about Google Chrome. So what version are you on?
You forever and ever. It's not even coming up yet. Oh, okay. I'm on 60.0.
Okay, so yeah, on the latest one, Google automatically usually updates itself, so that's why a lot of people are usually on the latest version. So when you want to now test in older version, there are some different kind of tools that you can use, and depending on what your organization supports, there are some open source ones. But Browser Stack is a popular one. I'll just sign in now and you just see what kind of looks like.
Browser what?
So Browser Stack, I'm
Slack.
going to it
Oh,
now. I
Slack.
can,
Okay, I'll come off
yeah.
this then. So I
I'll
can't see
put it
what you're
in.
doing.
I'll put it in Slack. Even though you won't be able to
Okay.
log in, but at least you can read about it and you know what it does.
Enable to
So
enable local testing. Oh yeah, that's really nice.
let me see. Hmm.
Hey, no talk. How did he move from your head to my head? Because there was a time it was your head. Where?
So what's this still showing now? Okay.
No scam you.
So if we want to check that same site on this, let me see. On this set of devices. So we can just
Okay, that's
so once I put the link here, right, and I just click on generate, it will try to generate what the page looks like on all these devices. So you can select iPhone 5, iPhone 6 Plus. So it will just test them and do screenshots and save them. Uh, it's not it's not yet. Yeah, so that's for responsive browser tests or responsive design. Trying to look for, I know the, what's it called, one is there as well. Let me look for it. Mm, Yeah, so here you can actually select everything about what you want to test. So I can select Windows 10 and have Chrome version 50. All right. So I've selected one browser like that. You can select Windows 7, Chrome 49, right? So that's two browsers
So
selected.
are you checking for compatibility?
Yeah, so I'm trying
Okay.
to see what the, so this is not the function now. This is just to see how compatible the site it will look like on the site. Yeah. And this will just generate screenshots for you. So once you click on generate screenshots, it will do a screenshot on the actual device in the cloud for you. And lastly, there is somewhere where you can actually do the function itself. I can't remember if it's here or not. This one is local. Surface. Yeah, there are a lot of other functionalities within it. Yeah, so
What
you
is
can also
Selenium
do,
testing?
yeah, so that's like automatically driving the web, like automatically doing some functionalities for you. Yeah. Trying to see, I think they've changed their UI a little bit. Can't find some things I'm looking for. But basically, you can launch a different version of Chrome and do some other things. I'll send you another link to a free one. You don't really need to, I can't even remember what it is, but I'll send that one in Slack. And if you want to download it and play around with it, you can. But it's not something you need to worry yourself too much about, because as simple as it is, it's just doing the same thing in a different version of your browser. Just like we've just checked in version 60, you know, you now check in other versions as well, do the same checks run your same test cases in other browsers. So that's why sometimes testing takes time because you need to check version 60, version 59, version 58, IE 11, depending on what the stakeholders want. So this is showing for iPhone 5s now, for example. This one has finished loading. You can see the image. Yeah. So now on this one now, there is another image here that is not showing. So for some reason, I'll wonder like why is that image not showing? And probably try to test it on a real device. So like the next one now is iPhone, is another phone. You can see the image on this one. This is Samsung phone. Yeah. And if you look at this one, you will see that there is an emoji here. This Game of Thrones crown. Can you see it? On the air, you can see that the crown is not displayed. There's a weird icon that is showing. Yeah. So those
Hmm.
are things that you kind of flag up. It's not showing on Android. Yeah. So that's why you do cross browse. And you can see on this one that is showing the crown, but the image is not showing. All of the images at all, they are not showing. The ocean rescue one is not showing, and it's even overlapping here. Mm. So this one is not showing at all. So you select some few devices so this one also is not showing. This is iPad still loading. No, this is the iPad one. It's not showing. Yeah, this one is showing, but the second image is not showing. The image might be too big that is not loading. But so those are the reasons why you're testing. And you might need to flag it up that okay, it's slow on this. Yeah, it's showing on this one, but it's showing this icon. Yeah. So this is like responsive design on different devices. So this is just a Windows laptop, for example, Windows Windows XP or Windows 7. I think the details about the browser is always somewhere else as well. And this is on the Mac OS. Yeah. So yeah.
Position as well. Perfect.
So I think that should be, we can call it a day for now.
Mhm.
I think you can just try and polish up the ones on here. Yeah, just polish these ones up and you get a new assignment on Sunday.
Um,
Yeah, I've not looked at that. Yeah, yeah, you said so. What email did you send it to? Yeah, I don't think I saw it. Hmm. I didn't look for it, but I don't think I saw it. I would have seen it. Yeah, at okay. I didn't see it. Yeah, I'll check it again. I might miss it, but I didn't see it. Yeah, so what did you say was in there? Okay. Uh, I'm sure it should be. Is it the ISEB one? Okay, hold on. Uh, no, I don't think I saw it. The file size is too big. No, I didn't see it. Yeah, you can try it again. I don't see why I should now. Unless if it's not sending. Mm, yeah, I stopped the recording.